Hey guys, and welcome to my quest guide for the 2019 Members Quest Desperate Times. We start this one in the castle north of the Berthorpe Lodestone, just upstairs, and here is a list of what we need for this quest. So the quest requirements: you need to have the needle skips and you are it complete. You need to have 50 mining, 50 smithing and 50 divination. Items required: you will need 3 rune bars, 2 runite stone spirits, 10 mind runes, 10 gleaming energy, the old necklace which you get in You Are It, or the necklace of Caros if you've upgraded it. You need equipment to enter the Black Knight's fortress, and during the quest you will have 5 level 50 opponents to defeat. So, starting the quest, once you are upstairs in Berthorpe Castle, go over and speak to Seren. Spam through the chat, click accept quest, and there will be a cutscene. If you would like to listen to it, just pause now or press escape to skip the cutscene. Now this next section can have multiple ways of completing it, so I'm just going to go through the one way that worked for me. So spam through all the chat. And when you have done, speak to Osman, who is in the northwest section. And choose option 1. Do you have anywhere we could plant the garden? So just to the southwest, you will need to speak to Sir Amic Vaz. And choose option 2. Do you have a workforce to plant it? Next, speak to Azandra on the western wall and choose option 3. Do you have any seeds we could use? And then option 1, yes. Spam through the chat. And then you'll have to start again because it was wrong. Next, speak to Venescula Draken on the eastern side and choose option 1. Do you have anywhere we could plant the garden? And then option 1 again. Change to Mauritania, and then option 1 again, yes. Spam through the chat and you'll see it's wrong again. And then you can speak to Zarador, who is to the south. You just need to turn your camera around. He's the big dude in the corner over here. And again, choose option 1. Do you have anywhere we could plant the garden? Then option 1. Change to Veldip, then option 1 again, yes. And spam through the chat, and once again it will be wrong. So spam through all the chat, and then when that's done, go over and speak to Seren. So once all the chatting is finished, you will need to make your way up to the needle. So the needle is up here, so you can either go to the Eagle's Peak Lodestone and run north, or if you've got any memory strands, you can teleport to the Memorial to Guthix and run north from there. So follow the path up and to the west through the forest all the way up to the needle. Once you get close, you will see some yellow dots on the minimap where the NPCs are stood, and that is where you need to head to. So once you get up here to the center, speak to Kerapak, spam through his chat. For the first two options, you can choose anything you would like. And keep spamming through his chat, and once you get to his third option, choose option 1, yes, I'm ready. To option 1. When you've done this, these temporal instabilities will show up. There are 5 of them you need to close. The first one is just to the northeast of where you're stood. Just click on that. Then just follow the path down. As you get to the water, you will see another one just down there. Click to close that. The third one is just in front of the house, behind the cart. If you can't see it, turn your camera around. Then if you go upstairs in the house, there is 2 up there as well. So first one is in the bedroom here, and the second one is in the other bedroom. So once you've got all 5 closed, head back up to the needle and speak to Kerapak once again. So once you speak to him, just spam through the chat. And then once that's all done, teleport to Sia's village lodestone. And then head over to Magruber's wood. So when you get up here, climb through the fence and head just south of the building. There is a hole you made during the last quest in You Are It. If you head down that hole and follow the path all the way along to the room at the end. When you get here, click on the coffin to investigate and spam through the chat. Then you'll receive a letter from Caros. Click to read that. Just spam through the pages and then close it again. So once you've done that, head over to the dig site in Varrock. Go to the northeast towards the empty throne room, which is just northwest of the bank. And then outside the door you will see a glowing portal on the floor. So if you stand on that, you will go through. Now this next section has puzzles that are different for everyone. Each of the puzzles has a specific way to solve it, but it's very likely the puzzles I get are going to be different from what you get. So I'm going to talk through and post on the screen exactly how you do each one. So hopefully you can follow on with what I've written on the screen. So to open the doors, just stand on the coloured portals around the room and just keep trying them until you find the door to one of the rooms with a chest in open. Each of the ones with the chest, I've got a little puzzle to do, and I'm going to go through these one at a time for you now. So the first one, if you go in the room and there is a clean herb on the floor, it doesn't matter what type of herb it is, but the code is always herb, just the 4 letters. So the next room, you will go in and there is 4 items on the ground, just like the one I'm doing on screen now. And the code for that is the first letter of each of the 4 items, starting with the one furthest away from the chest. The next room, you can go in and find a few piles of coins on the floor, and the code for that would be the number of coins in each pile but represented in Roman numerals. If you're not sure about Roman numerals, in the center of the room there is a pillar with a pile of paper next to it. If you pick that up, you can have a look at all the possible Roman numerals you can use during this. And once again, that should start with the pile of coins furthest away from the chest. If that doesn't work, sometimes try it in reverse order and do the one closest to the chest first. That might also work. So the next one, when you go in, there will be a plaque on the wall next to the room's door. And when you examine it, it will give you 4 lodestone symbols, like when you're teleporting around. And the answer to that is the first letter of each of the lodestone's location. So for example, if it comes up Lumbridge, Falador, would obviously be LF. So it's always just the first letter of that location. The next room would be if you go in and there is a single item on the floor with 4 letters in its name. And the code for the chest for that is just the name of the item. So as you'll see, I do that room in a minute. If there is a beer on the floor, then go and open the chest and put beer into the 4 sections. The next one can be quite difficult. Now you get a note on an old recipe. And once again, this uses Roman numerals. So the code will be the amount of each of the ingredients represented with a single Roman numeral. However, if it's not represented by a single Roman numeral, so if to make that number would take more than 1 numeral, then you will just go by the first letter of each of the ingredients. So for example, if one of the ingredients is 1,000 grams of bacon, that can be represented 1,000 by the letter M, 10x. But if, for example, it was 1005, that would take more than 1 Roman numeral, so I would use the first letter of that example would be the letter B. So hopefully all this made sense, and once you've done 2 of these puzzles, you will get a card with a load of symbols on, and you have to line that up with the tiles on the floor in the middle. Now, each of these rooms with 2 puzzles and a tile will happen 3 times. So I will put the description of each of the puzzles on the screen each time we do that. So once you've lined up all this in the center here, once you have completed the puzzle in the middle, go to the west and step on the portal to leave. Or you can just teleport out, and the next one we need to go to the Black Knight's Fortress. So if you teleport to Edgeville, make sure you've got an outfit that allows you to gain access. If you want the simplest one, just use a bronze med helm and an iron platebody. So the Black Knight's Fortress is just to the north of Ice Mountain, so go south from Edgeville, west onto the mountain, and then north to the entrance. So when you get there, make sure you've got your outfit equipped, and then go in the eastern room. You will see another one of the glowing yellow portals on the floor. So just go and stand on that, and you will enter the same room we had before, but there will be different puzzles than last time. So just like last time, with this room there will be 2 rooms with chests in. Solve the puzzles and get the solution to the tiles in the middle. I'll leave the writing on the screen with how to do each of the puzzles, and then once we're done we will head up to the 3rd section. So when you've got the puzzle in the middle complete, the next place you need to go is to Varrock Library inside the castle. So teleport to Varrock, either from the lodestone and run north, or go to the Grand Exchange and run around into the castle and go into the library. So once you get to the castle, go to the northern side into the library and speak to Reldo. Then you need to find the next portal. So if you go south to the stairs near the entrance, go up the stairs, and the room just to the east, you will notice the glowing yellow portal in there again. So go through the door and go and stand on the portal to go back into the puzzle room for the last time. So, same as before. 2 rooms with chests in, solve them to get to the solution for the tiles in the middle, and then we are ready to move on to the next section. So when you complete the tile puzzle in the middle, you will get a rumbling sound and the ground will shake. And then the clue scroll from "You Are It" will pop up on the screen. Close that and you will tell yourself that you need to go to the Varrock Palace Library again. So if you go back through the yellow portal, you will end up back in Varrock Castle instead of having to teleport out. Go down the stairs and go north and up to Reldo again. So speak to Reldo and choose option 1, use Caros's necklace. And then for the next 3 options, you can choose any you will like. So he will take the rune bars, the mind runes and the energy out of your inventory when the chat is over. Once you spam through the chat and the items are gone, then you need to head back up to the needle. So head up to the needle, whichever way is fastest for you, either the memory shard, the fairy ring, or from the Eagle's Peak lodestone. Run all the way up to where we started the quest and you'll need to speak to Kerapak again. So once you get up to the top here, speak to Kerapak, spam through his chat. Then you will end up in a room like this. So now what you need to do is run around here and try and find all of the Sliske's clones. There are 5 of them all together. You need to kind of wander around every path to find them. Just make sure you cover every single bit, because as you will see later, I thought I had done all of them, but there was a tiny little bit of path I hadn't walked on and the last one was there. And make sure you pick up what they drop on the floor.
Quite perceptive, guthix. Those people don't have an inkling that I'm once not even the other gods.
I know why you have come, Sliske. I know what you are here to do.
So make sure you pick up the broken mask shards from each one you kill. They aren't too difficult to defeat. They're only level 50, so you shouldn't need food. But if you are a lower level, bring some food with you just in case.
My death will not bring you what you seek. But it must be done. And it must be by your hand.
If I gain nothing, what is the point?
You will never be a god, but your hand will usher in a new age. With my death, the gods shall return.
And immediately start trying to kill each other. A new god wars. Now that does sound like fun. But why would you want such a thing?
It is necessary. For my death will be born another.
So once you've found and killed all 5 and you have all 5 of the shards in your inventory, just click on one of them to combine them into a Sliske's mask. So the next thing you need to do is wear the mask. Now before you put the mask on, I'd say run down to the edge where you can see me going now, because once you put the mask on and you turn into Sliske, you can't run. So as you can see, I put it on straight away and I'm having to walk all the way down. So if you run down there as yourself first and then put the mask on, it is a little bit faster. So once you get all the way down the end, the next thing you need to do is to kill Guthix. So click on him, choose option 1, yes, kill him, and you will go into a cutscene. Once the cutscene's finished, you will be in another section. And on here, you need to harvest all the memories. These are these small red balls you can see around. So click on them. If you can't see them in the main screen, if you look up on the map, each of the memories has a yellow dot on the map, so you can just head to each of the locations there. But if you just follow the path around, you should be able to see all of them. Once you've got all the memories, you need to head towards the center where the fairy ring is. And you can see on the map that a yellow dot will have appeared next to it. So if you go there and speak to Guthix, so talk to him and choose any option. So when you're in this section, you will see these mutable animas. There are 4 of them here. If you click each of them once, that will direct the energy to the correct place. And then that will move you on to the next section. So you will end up in the Imperial citadel. So run north And then you need to go into the west room.
Absolutely.
So once you get into the west room, go to the south wall. If you run through the middle and to the center section of the south wall, and just outside here you will see an option that says jump gap. There's only a small section you can click on for it. So jump over the gap here, then run across the planks. Then you need to run over here and drop down the rock face. Just to the north, there's another option to climb up the rock face. And then just inside, you need to climb over the obstacle. Now this is just in the center to the north of where you are. Now, once you're through here, you need to follow the path all the way round. So go out of the northern door. Follow it all the way north through this room. Ignore the things in the rooms. You don't need to do anything with them. So north, and then follow it east. Once again, east through the room all the way to the next corridor, and then follow that one south.
I gave them the perfect prize, the perfect reason to kill one another.
Once you get into the last room here, go and open the door. Then you will end up with a little cutscene, and then you'll end up in this room here. Now this next section can be a little bit confusing, so I will do my best to explain it as simple as possible. So once you're in this room, the object is to get all of the anima directed at Kerapak in the middle. So to do this, you can just follow it around. You can use the portals to move around, or you can just follow what I do. So just to the northwest here, you need to click once on the mutable anima, and that will point north. Then if you just go to the portal just to the south of where you are, you might have to turn to see it a little bit. The southern of the two will teleport you up here. Then run north. Click on the first mutable anima you come to, so that faces south, and then run up again to the next one just north of where you are. Click on this one to also point it north. Then you need to head through a portal to the north. Now I chose the wrong one. Just to the east of this one I go through now is the correct portal. If you turn the camera around, you'll be able to see it behind the pillar. So as from the other direction, you can see the two portals. Go through this one and you will end up on the upper platform. Run to the center. And click on this mutable anima here, and so it faces north and goes through that portal. Once it goes through there, you will be teleported to another section. So same idea here. We need to get all the anima directed at Kerapak, who is in the center room to the west. So this one is a little bit more difficult, so I'll put a picture on the screen of the solution. It will show you which of the mutable anima you need to click on and which direction it needs to be pointed at. Finding your way around here can be a little bit difficult, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit through this because it took me longer than it should have done, and then we can carry on once all the anima is going in the right direction. So while you're doing this one, you need to find all the unrefined anima around, which you can see on the map. There are 3 of them marked with red dots on the picture. So you need to find each of these, and then there are 6 different mutable anima that you need to change direction. So just make sure they're pointed in the direction I have them on the picture on the screen. Now, the 2 on the left side further down can be difficult to find. It took me a while to go through all the portals to find my way in there. But if you go into the room to the west, where Kerapak is, one of the portals in there will take you down, might make it a little bit faster to find your way down there. So once you have everything pointing in that direction, go into the room here with Kerapak and make sure all 4 are aimed at him, and you will get another cutscene. Spam through the chat. And once that is done, you will end up back up at the needle. There'll be another little cutscene here. You can just press escape to skip that. Skip through all Caros's chat again. And then speak to Caros one more time when that's finished. And then once you've done all that, teleport back to Berthorpe. And we're going to go back upstairs in the castle where we started the quest. So when you get up here, go and speak to Seren. And spam through her chat once again, because they really like to talk in this quest. So there we have quest complete. So for completing this, you get 3 quest points, 1 huge XP lamp, the Caros clue carrier for you to put all your clue scrolls in. You get a master clue scroll and your usual 2 treasure hunter keys. So that is Desperate Times quest complete.